Hello everyone, how you doing? Welcome to a bit of a bonus Saturday stream. Hope everyone's doing well. How are you? How are you? Let me know. We're on TSW again, back on TSW, and why not? Quite enjoyed the Train Sim Classic stream though the other night on the Transpennine Express. That was a bit different. We had an Oxenome at Leah Green. Oh dear me. So anyway, I thought we'd get back on TSW, and we're gonna go first with the 37. I thought the theme of today is Saturday Power, so why don't we start with the Rail Operations Group 37, Southeastern High Speed. That's power. It's a little bit slower than what we've been playing recently, but that might help with Oxenome's famous last words. How is everyone? Jason, good evening. Good evening. Look, see, I'm in the routine of doing this at night now. Good afternoon, I should say. Well, this is unexpected. Yeah, I just before Preston beat Portsmouth, I thought I'd just, switch it on and have a quick look at what's going on. Dave, good afternoon. Stuck in your lorry, waiting for heavy recovery. Oh, dear me. Doesn't sound good. David Drives, how are you? Good afternoon. At Berlin Airport Departure Lounge. Nice. Well, welcome in, everybody. I thought we'd just do a couple of services. The first one, as I said, is this Rail Operations Group, Southeastern High Speed. Then I thought we would quickly switch to London Commuter, and we'd run service 6V60, which is class 66 freight. So again, power. That's the theme this afternoon. Let's get in the 37 and get it all set up, shall we? We've got a couple of minutes wait before we can depart, so we'll get all this sorted out. Put it forwards, headlights. Let's have a look up here. Route indicators, we will need instrument lights, safety systems. Hang on, my mouse is doing the usual. Let's see if that lets me do it. Hold on, hold your ears. That's it. I've got to get the cursor back for the controller. It's really weird how it does that. There we go. Now we're in business. Yeah, a couple of minutes to wait. Let's get the windows down. So, we are running one of the services that comes with this Rail Operations Group 37, which is meant to be taking these 375s for refurbishment. So that's what we're doing. We're taking these away from the Southeastern High Speeds. It's great, this, isn't it? Look at that. Look at the reflection on the side of that. I love a 37 anyway, as you know, but this one is pretty special. Looks good. Jason says you'll be eating humble pie later with that comment. I'll be joining you. We'll see. Anything can happen. Right. What is the schedule? Let's have a look. Straight to Faversham. This is 5Q58 Cheddeston Curve to Ramsgate Depot. So straight through. I think it's about 17 miles, this one. So we're just waiting for 11:45 and the red light to go away, and then we can be underway. Let's put the brakes down into initial, shall we? First application. Right, there we go. Faversham. Take the brakes off. Away we go. Hello, Peter. How you doing? Just about awake on your 8th Lavazza. I'm actually having tea. I'm on loose tea though, I'm not on the tea bags. I know it sounds ridiculous, right? But I drink a lot of tea. I'm on the tea bags, but I do like a bit of loose tea, a bit of PG Tips in the pot. It does taste differently when you can stew it a little bit. And that's what I'm on. Loose tea. So I don't blame you for being on the coffees. Afternoon, Scott. Scott says, looks great quality. Does look great quality. If any of you haven't got this 37, consider getting it. I think at full price, I think it's about £6. Full price, but, you know, it'll come in the sale. There'll be a sale at Christmas. I don't know that for definite. I'm just going off previous years. So if you haven't got it and you fancy it, have a look around Christmas time. It comes with services for South Eastern High Speed. It also has services on Midland Mainline, if you've got the Midland Mainline. And of course for South Eastern High Speed it's also got scenarios. I think it's got 5 scenarios. So it's not bad. It's not bad for that price. Right, we've got a 15 coming up. So let's just coast it, I think. It's weird when I drive down here now because Dovetail's offices are over here. The buildings look a little bit different, but yeah, Dovetail's over there, and I would never have thought. And having visited now twice, it's really weird when I come back and drive South Eastern High Speed because I kind of know where I'm going. So, Dave says only one stop, better not auction home that. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's kind of some of the reasoning behind it as well. Yeah, I didn't want to go flying through there. By the way, Dave, did you see that you featured in the short that I put out yesterday? The little short video about members. I think that was yesterday I did that. I did a couple yesterday because we also looked at the trailer for the West Coast Mainline. I did that yesterday as well. Peter says, can you do this service with a regular 37? No, you can't. This has got special... I'll show you when we get out of the tunnel. It's got special couplings, but it's also got in-cab systems to control the brakes on the back. As the Grand Autismo says, good afternoon, Grand Autismo. How you doing? So I'll show you when we get out of the tunnel. This is Chatham. So you've got this equipment up here. You can see step 1, step 2. So when I put the brakes on, you'll see these light up. These are the brakes on the back in the 375. If I do it now, actually, let me take that off. If I put the brakes in, can you see it lights up? So that's telling me that the 375 behind is also braking. We got, before we go in the tunnel, we got this special coupling as well on the back, which is only on this 37. So. But it is. I mean, if you like your old British diesels anyway, it's worth getting. I think most people have got South Eastern High Speed, haven't they? I think. So even if you don't have the Midland Mainline, there's plenty to do on South Eastern High Speed. The Midland Mainline stuff's a bonus, actually. That's extra. Right, let's go. Yeah, there's the coupling. I'm still not convinced about the horn on the 37. Don't think it's done on a Casio keyboard. I might be wrong, but I've probably not heard that many in real life, but it just seems a bit... It always seemed a bit weak to me. Grandatismo says we could do with some barrier/translator coaches so we can do this with more locos. Get a 31 or 47 on a loco drag. Yeah, I think it's because... I think it's only on this one because I remember from the blurb at the time that these were actual services. and I think these were fitted especially to do this for the refurbishment of the 375s. I think that's why there's no 31s or 47s that do it, but I get your point. You might want to kind of free roam it with a 31. Only around till 13:45 and off to watch football at Fleetwood. Oh, I didn't know you watched Fleetwood. Yeah, it makes sense. Makes sense. Well, we're doing this one. This one is about 35 minutes, this service. Then I'm going to do the London commuter one, which is about 55. So I'm planning to be about an hour and a half streaming. So probably by 2 o'clock we'll be finished. And I'm hoping to be back on Monday. We will be back on Monday. We'll do something on Monday night as usual. But I was hoping to have the MBTA commuter to show you on Monday. I haven't got that yet. So Dovetail might send me that on Monday during the day. So I will leave scheduling Monday's stream to a little bit later in the day so I can decide what it is we're doing. If we get the MBTA commuter, we'll do that. Quite nice livery. Is that what these got refurbed into these white ones? I think so. Afternoon, Duncan. How are you? Peter says, do you ever do Spirit of Steam runs? I've got some of them on the channel, yeah. I actually haven't done Steam for a while, but it's a good idea. Maybe we'll do Steam quite soon, because I do quite like running Steam. I mean, we'll definitely... yeah, Spirit of Steam, I've not... When did I last go on the... I was playing it the other week, but not on YouTube. So we could do that, yeah. We could do that. It's been a while since I've been on it. Steam itself, I think once the West Coast Mainline comes out over Shat, we're definitely going to take the Scotsman up the main line. I think we simply have to do that. We have to do that. We have to run the 87. We're going to have to... we're going to have to take the Pendolino out of Era, I think. So, yeah, we'll do all that. How's the sound, by the way? Is it... Tell me if the game sound is too loud. I'm just looking at the meters going up, and it seems like the desktop audio is maybe slightly loud. There we go. We've got a yellow, and this one's come past. It's fine. Oh, the white one's got refurbished into blue, so the blue's the new one. I did know this, but I've forgotten. I thought I was dragging it the other way. I thought the blue was going to become the white. That makes sense. Audio seems okay. Okay, excellent. Thank you. .66 coming this way. And we've got a red at the end of the platform, so keep an eye on that. Which is now a yellow, so we're alright. You should know this from the trips to DTG. Yeah, I know that. I've even travelled on one, haven't I? Back to, where did we go? Back to Victoria, wasn't it? Just couldn't remember which way around it was. I think I actually like the white livery better. What a beast, honestly. Oh yeah, thank you, Streamlabs. Don't forget, hit the like button. Thank you, everybody. If you would do that for me, that'd be great. We are actually getting, just in the last few weeks, we are actually getting some good numbers on the channel since Train Sim World 5 has released. Everybody's getting into the trains. I think we've got a lot of new viewers as well, which is really nice. Welcome. If you're in the stream now but you've not commented, welcome, welcome. The white livery was Connex, you think? Okay. Connex Southeast. Yeah, this is not obviously my neck of the woods, this, so I only know what I know about this from playing this and a couple of visits down to Dovetail. You know, my observation has always been, though, having been on South Eastern High Speed in the game so much, that going on it in real life for the first time, you normally would expect to do it the other way around, wouldn't you? And you'd know a route and then play it in the game. But going down there, I knew exactly where I was. It's a really strange feeling. You know, getting on the Javelin, it was. I mean, I must admit, the only thing I wasn't impressed with, and I've said this before, I think, is the Javelin. I expected to be more impressed with Britain's fastest train. And I got on it and I thought, the Pendolino's way better than this. I mean, from a comfort perspective, the Pendolino is way comfier than the Javelin. The Javelin's very... I don't know. We talked about those seats, those really uncomfortable seats with no padding. The Pendolino, after... What does it take me? It takes me 2.25 hours, 2.5 hours to get down to London from Preston on the Pendolino. But you haven't got the numb backside, even after all that time, than I got on the Javelin, just going between London and Chatham. So, yeah, I wasn't as impressed with the Javelin. But the route itself, the way they've done the route's pretty good. The 0820 Edgehill Nuneaton Heavy Freight standing at 8F, very, very challenging, would be a great stream. I think I've done that, you know, or a variation of it. Is that the one where you're starting on a slight hill and you've really got to feather the throttle to get it moving? There's a couple like that. The 395 is a glorified commuter train, you feel? Yeah, I think that's what I thought. Maybe, you know, maybe again, I only know about the Javelin from playing this, and I think I just expected more. I thought it was some kind of flagship train, you know, Britain's fastest and all this. You know, it's not Britain's comfiest, is it? Definitely wasn't. And you know, I've travelled on the Pendolinos a lot, and they're quite old now, aren't they? As well. I know they've been refitted. Avanti refitted them all, but they're still very nice to travel on. So I think I was expecting the same, if not better, and I wasn't impressed with that. So. Afternoon, Stuart. Stuart's in Lanzarote. Wow. We've got people in Berlin. We've got people in Lanzarote. We've got Jason in Fleetwood. And we've got a red light, and I don't go through a red light after the other night. Mind you, there's a bit of a distance there. We're fine. Remember when Deltic's replaced steam engines? Was always disappointed when it came out the tunnel. Yeah, different thing altogether, isn't it? Although Deltic's, we always talk about Deltic's on here, don't we? And everyone wants a Deltic in this game. I think it'd be a good addition to this game. I don't know what route we would put it on though. At the moment, there needs to be a route specifically for it. I think the East Coast Main Line's too modern for the Deltic, isn't it? Certainly so. Right, we've got this red coming up, which is now a yellow, so we're good. Travel Tube, how are you doing? Good afternoon. That's the one, the long climb up Halton after Runcorn. Yeah, there's a few services like that, and I know what you mean, they are a bit tricky. They are a bit tricky. You just want to get going, don't you? And you've got to very, very slightly feather the throttle to get it moving. Right, the red is at the end of the platform. Afternoon, Steve. How you doing? There's Steve with his new members badge. You'll notice there's different coloured badges now for however long you've been a channel member. And I think if you hover over the badge, it will tell you how many months. I think. I was just messing around with it the other day and decided to do a few different colours. How you doing, Steve? Granddaughter Isabel says, Pendors are 20-year-oldish now, don't look it, and like the refurb. The interior ambience is great. They are nice inside, yeah. They feel solid when you're inside. Ah, Travel Tube is Eddie. How you doing, Eddie? Andrew, good afternoon. Wouldn't mind a 156. Dave says, nothing wrong with a Deltic Rail Tour. That's a good point, actually. If so when a Loco DLC comes out traditionally, I think actually all the time, they're aimed at a specific route, aren't they? So if you get scenarios, I don't think we've had a Loco DLC where we've had 2 scenarios on one route and 2 on another and maybe 1 somewhere else. If you typically get 5 scenarios, they're all based on one route, aren't they? You could almost have like a Deltic Rail Tour pack, couldn't you? Or any Loco DLC for that matter, and have the scenario spread across several routes as a Rail Tour pack, and then it doesn't really matter about the era, does it then? So much, you know, if you've got the modern routes and you want to run a Deltic, you can with a Rail Tour, but then I suppose it gives Dovetail a bit of a headache, because if they release it across 3 routes, it relies on you having the 3 routes to get the full money's worth out of the pack. So I bet they've thought about that already, but it's a good idea, yeah. Steve said, you've noticed TSW5 runs better on the Xbox Series X. You mean better than it did before? There was a little patch this week, wasn't there? But I think it was only to prepare for MBTA and West Coast Mainline overshot. I did see that I can now see in the list, I can see the achievements for both routes. So they've just done some little bit of prep work, I think, for that. Eddie says, like how the JT have added the correct bus numbers on the upcoming route, and also the Flying Scotsman will be in the new West Coast Main Line. Yeah, that's what I mean. We'll definitely run the Scotsman up down the main line. Give it a good blast. Why has he got a tail light going on the front? You see that? He had a tail light going on the front, and he only switched his route indicators on right as we came up to him. But mine are 56. Yeah, 56. Any of those will be great. Any of those 50s. So many rail tours with old diesels now. Dovetail could set up fantasy rail tours on all the routes with any heritage diesels. Yeah, yeah, I agree. Afternoon, Laura. I can see Jason has answered that question. How you doing? You've been running the West Coast Main Line from Milton Keynes to Euston, hardly any pop-up. Ah, right, so you mean compared to before then. Right, I don't know specifically what they've done. They did release one big patch, didn't they, for the West Coast Main Line a few weeks back. Maybe it's like they said, you need to run it a few times to build up the cache, and then it doesn't jump about as much then. Just maybe the more you've played it, it's got slightly better. It will be a good challenge, the Scotsman. It definitely will. A lot of that West Coast Main Line, though, if you're leaving from Preston, it is quite flat. It's only really after Cornforth you get a little bit of the up and down starting to take place before you get to Shap, obviously. If you switch all the realism on and do the fireman job yourself as well, that will give you a really good challenge. I always have to fireman on automatic. It's enough to sort of drive the steam trains, I think. And then you can enjoy the run. If you're doing the fireman and all that stuff, you don't get a chance to have a look at where you're actually going, you know. I think I tried it once and turned it off. The 86 would be nice, but you would prefer the APT. Yeah, I'm sure once the route comes out, then Just Trains and Dovetail will pretty quickly announce what the low-code DLC is going to be. It's not appeared on the roadmap yet, as it just says low-code DLC. It doesn't say what it is yet, but I'm sure that'll change pretty quick. Your game crashed on stream last night. One of the other ambassadors is having trouble on his PS5 as well. Entis. He was saying he kept getting crashes. I was playing on PS5 last night. Actually, it was running fine for me. I don't know if it's something specific that's causing it for people, but right, we've got 2.4 miles into Faversham, then we'll hop onto the Brighton Mainline. The APT will be great. I think if the low-code DLC comes out and it isn't an APT, there's lots of people saying the APT was gone by the time that the West Coast Mainline over Shap is set. I don't know it that well, but if that's true, then it's probably unlikely that the low-code DLC will be the APT. I don't know, but I think well, I mean, if the APT had gone, it could only have just gone. So the route itself would be pretty similar, if not the same, to when it was around. So if you really want the APT and it's not announced as the APT, make sure you keep putting it in the suggestions forum, because I also want the APT. I would like the APT. It's great fun in TS Classic. So I'd love to have it in TSW. And of course with the APT you can go a bit faster than you can normally. Which is good. Because that West Coast Mainline over Shat at speed, it's got some nice curves. Especially between Oxenholme and Penrith, there's some nice curves there. You can really lean in. Which is why running the Pendo up there will be something I would recommend. Even if you just, you know, shut your eyes and pretend it's a more modern route, you know. Like I said before, that doesn't really bother me because I'm not totally a purist when it comes to that. If I'm getting more money's worth out of what I've got, I'll play it, you know. The freight is fun too, it's got NTP struggle vibes. Yeah, imagine the heavy oil stuff that we've got on Northern Transpennine going up Shat. Didn't Train Classic have Black 5s over Shat? I think it did, but do you know what? I don't think I've run any of those. But I think it does have services for that. Peter, you live a couple of miles from Pontypool, South Wales now, close to the Welsh Marches line from Newport, up through Abergavenny to Hereford and Shrewsbury. That'd be a great route on TSW for relatives. That, again, Welsh Marches is a really nice route in Train Sim Classic. I was playing that last night. What did I do last night? I ran the 31 actually. It was the engineer's train. It was an AP scenario. It was like a yellow. I'm going to butcher my description of it. I'm going to call it. It was Network Rail, the yellow 31 with the yellow coaches, and it was I think it was is it a track monitoring train or like a survey train? I ran a service in that last night, a scenario in that off stream, and quite enjoyed it. It's a nice route. Right, we need to wait until 12:17. We of course don't need to open the doors because we've got nobody on board. Where's the Javelin? Forgot about that sticker. Do you know what? I've still, in the game, no matter how much I've played this, I've still not seen the rainbow liveried Javelin. I've seen other people with it. I've not seen it the whole time I've been playing this, and you wouldn't believe the amount of hours I've done on South Eastern High Speed. But I've never seen it. And I know it's in the game somewhere. Nick, you've got 8 routes now. I remember you coming into it. I remember you coming into it with TSW5 and you said to me, what do I buy next? I've got a wish list with lots of stuff. And now you've got 8 routes. This is what happened. I did warn you. I remember if I knew where it was in the stream, I would clip it. Because I did say to you, your wallet will never forgive you. And if you've got TS Classic as well, double it. That's quite hilarious, that. It's quite funny. And of course, yeah, have a look at Jason's document, because if you are picking up a DLC, his document will show you exactly where else it will run, so you'll know just how much value for money you'll get out of a particular DLC. So it's worth keep having a look at that. Steve says West Coast Mainline still has issues with the PIS at Watford Junction, heading to Birmingham, but it says Euston. All right, there's probably still a few niggles like that. They'll fix that quite easily, I would have thought. David says, would like a class 50 in TSW. It was a favourite as a young spotter in Devon. Do not mention. Let's have a look down. Yeah, Dave's mentioned Animal already. Don't mention a 50 in case Animal is around. He will lose his stuff if you mention a class 50. The only time Animal will calm down is when a 50 actually arrives. And as DTG would say, no plans for that. But again, yeah, class 50 would be good. And again, it's another good one in TS Classic. So I agree with you. Duncan says, it's an out of left field suggestion. Is there a possibility of Just Train's loco being a steam train? Dovetail said they would stop steam train development, but not about third-party devs. I think it could be possible, but then again, you know, Dovetail have got the data about how popular Steam is. And if for some reason Steam has not been as popular as they thought it would be, they might recommend against another Steam train. But I don't know, because I think from a UK perspective, with the Flying Scotsman, they probably brought out the ultimate British steam train there, didn't they? The iconic steam train. And depending how well that did, would probably sway them one way or another with a new Steam Train DLC. I wouldn't be against a Steam Train DLC. I quite like running the Steam stuff. But I don't know whether or not it'll be one. I really don't. Right, okay. Let's go back to the menu because we're going to go back. That's a great shot, by the way. I don't know if you just quickly saw that. That was a Blackpool Branches screenshot of Preston Station with a 31 in there. You'll see it going around the loading screens when you're playing it yourself. It just briefly came past them, but that's a very nice shot. Whoever did that, I didn't even catch the name. It was that quick. Right, we're going to the London commuter timetable. We're going in the 66, and we're going to Creators Club. And we're going to run the green Climate Hero 66, which I've got from the Creators Club, and I've had it a long time, and I always quite like using it, and it appears as AI as well, which is always quite nice. We're going to do the 955, which is this one, and I think we'll change to September, clear weather. Let's get started. Yeah, the consensus is any. Oh, there's that screenshot. There you go. Bahamas, very good screenshot. Very nice. Bit of grain on there as well. Let me just pause this, then I can quickly catch up with what you guys are saying. You've not ridden the line over Shap yet, Stuart, but you've been an ex-lorry driver. You've driven side by side many times. Yeah, of course, because the M6 up the Loon Gorge and T-Bay, it's right next to the track, isn't it? The track monitoring train, the 31s lasted until the late 2010s, as you recall. Got it. Yeah, it was really good service, actually, that. You've not got Classic because you're on an Xbox yet. That's good. Then you'll save yourself a lot of money. Yeah. Scott says, best route to get on Train Sim 5. For me, Blackpool Branches. I think that's going to change to this new West Coast Main Line, to be honest. But everybody else can chip in and say what they think. Eddie, you've seen an in development pic of a Hoover? Seriously? Where have you seen that from then? Definitely don't tell Animal about that. Steam was popular, but the quality let people down, so people were warned from buying them. Yeah, but warned from buying them from who, though? Is it the usual mourners on the forum? Probably. I think with a lot of these things, you've got to try them yourself to decide. You know, what's bad for one person actually is really enjoyable for somebody else is what I tend to see in the comments on these videos. You know, great screenshot of Preston Station, totally biased. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. You don't drink or smoke and don't have a wife or any ex-wives to support so you can indulge in your hobbies. That's good. Yeah, you got plenty of money then. Right. Okay, so this is the 66. We'll set it up first, and then we'll have a look outside. I think, if I remember rightly, in this direction, the safety systems are in the back, so I won't put it into forwards yet. We'll open the window. It's a nice day. Let's have a look what we've got. So we want the lights to daytime. Instrument lights on, and yeah, the safety systems are down the other end. So we'll take a very quick walk out. Make sure nothing's coming. No, I don't want to climb up the ladder. I want to go down the ladder. I'm gonna have to jump. I've noticed that sometimes you can't actually climb down the ladder. Let me just check again. Walk across here. This is what we're in today. The Climate Hero, which is 66004. And we got the DB Schenker wagons on the back. Let's get up here. Climb up. Get these switched on. So we got the AWS and we got the DSD as well right there. So we'll close that and we'll head back. Then we can get underway. I think we are going as far as Clapham Junction, I think, today. Get up there, like that. Turn this noisy thing off. Right. I think we're in business, so we'll get the brakes off, shall we? Because that can take a while. On the 66, where is the AWS acknowledge button? Right, well I'm using the controller, which is B on this particular controller, or circle if you're on PlayStation controller. And the AWS button is here somewhere. There. It's sometimes called something rude. That I'll leave it to your imagination. It's the AWS something, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You can work that out for yourself, but it's got quite a rude name on the 66. We're rolling backwards, so I'm going to put the throttle in. We're really rolling back. What's going on here? Oh, I know what we're doing. We didn't put it in forwards, did we? That would help. Right, let's try that again, shall we? I'm going to spad going backwards here. Is it going to let me pass that red? Where is that? That's not our red, is it? That's the red for the track on the right hand side. Right, let's go. That's better. Revenger, good afternoon. How you doing? Love to see a 90 and a 91 in TSW5. That's got to come at some point, hasn't it? Got to. Scott, you've only got the Milton Keynes to London at the moment, but you might try the Brighton one. Is it any good? And you love the Class 390. The Brighton one is a very long route with plenty going on, and it's got quite a few layers as well. So you got Brighton down the bottom, and you got Victoria up here at the top. Very good run, and if you end up getting the East Coastway, you can route hop once you get to Brighton onto the East Coastway as well. So I've always quite liked the London commuter. Again, check Jason's spreadsheet to see what runs. For the full answer, you can see what runs on this line by checking Jason's spreadsheet. Because you might find once you get a few other DLCs as well, they will run on here as well. So there's the Gatwick Express. I don't know why it's spawned the camera at the back as well. It's a bit weird. We'll get to the front, then we can have a look outside. It's not going to hold the Gatwick Express, is it, to let us past? That wouldn't make sense. We'll see. Afternoon, Geek Daddy, how you doing? Which DLC gets to this 66? As Geek Daddy says, yeah, this is creators. This is a Creators Club livery. Remind me when we finish the service. I'll quickly go into my Creators Club subscriptions, and I'll tell you who it is that created this, and then you can pick it up. It's nice, isn't it? This is the one that I think it ran on vegetable oil or something, or they ran it temporarily on vegetable oil for some climate conference up in Scotland, and they ran it all the way up the West Coast Mainline, I think, to Glasgow. If you go on Wikipedia and have a look for it, 66004, it tells the story there, but I'm sure they ran it on chip fat or vegetable oil or something. Hence the climate hero sort of tag. But I quite like, when I saw it, I quite liked the bright green, which is why I first picked it up. It's quite a striking colour, isn't it? I've noticed as well on this, can you see up in the hood, we're slowing down, but the accelerometer, whatever you call it, the accelerometer is showing blue. And when I accelerate, it shows orange. It's back to front. So if I accelerate now, the blue is coming down, look. It's back to front. Which is really weird. See now, it's gone below the line, it's showing orange. I don't know how that's happened. I will let DTG know about that, and then they can take a look. Everybody's waiting for us here, look. Southern 377, that comes as part of this route. Got a little bit of brake on still, that doesn't help. Oh yeah, there you go. Gran Turismo told me the brake's not released, but it's still the same. The brakes are released now, but look at the top. It's still showing that we are braking when we're not. AWS avoid windstream. You use the AWS, don't you? It's the DSD that can get you. Cheers, Dave. See you later. Thanks for coming in, buddy. Yeah, the accelerometer, the things that tell you your speed, and yeah, exactly that. You can see it's back to front though, clearly. Yeah. Why does the horn sound like it's at the back of the train? That's not loud at all, is it? That's weird. The window's open. And you remember when I went into the outside camera, it put me to the back of the train. It's like something's gone back to front generally. I don't understand. Weird. Not to worry. It looks good, doesn't it, though? The lights on the front, I don't know if you've noticed, the lights have improved. Look at how bright that headlight is. I don't recall them ever being that bright. If AWS is avoid when streaming, what's PZB? the pointless Z button. If you had integrity, Geek Daddy, you would use PZB. This is the original Great West Express 66 model, the South Eastern High Speed, and the ECML one is better sounding. Yeah, there's that many, isn't there? Did this say, when I selected it, it said underneath it, cargo line aggregates, it said underneath, when I picked it in the Creators Club listing. So this is the cargo line aggregates version. I get mixed. There's that many. I get mixed up at who's updated what and what the tweaks were. It's difficult. I think Jason needs to do a spreadsheet on that as to what the versions of the 66 are and what was the change list, etc. Although going back and doing that in retro fitting out the spreadsheet might be a little bit difficult. We got 28 miles till we stop, and it's definitely Clapham Junction if we take a look at the map and we zoom in. And don't forget, if you don't know where this is, you can hover over the little icon there, and it'll tell you Clapham Junction. So with just the other side of Clapham Junction, we're going to. Shots fired. Actually, Jason, you know, the level of hypocrisy from you is just shocking. That's an in-joke, by the way, in case anyone's listening and wonder what the hell I'm talking about. Struggle with the current spreadsheet. It's getting a bit of a beast, that spreadsheet, isn't it? And there'll be another roadmap on Tuesday coming out. Now, I don't know if there'll be anything new on that roadmap or what. Maybe. If there is, then your spreadsheet's going to get bigger. I mean, right now, as far as roadmaps goes, right now I just can't see beyond that West Coast Mainline route. I don't really care what's coming up after that at the moment. Let's just get that out, get that on my system. I mean, you all saw the trailer and maybe my video as well last night, looking at the trailer. What do you think that's all about at the end of the trailer with the funky music and the CCTV bit and it was almost like X-Files is what I thought when I saw it. Just that last sort of 10-second countdown or whatever it was. I don't understand what that is. Is that hinting at some kind of mastery tile? Or I immediately thought of UFOs again, but then I thought, no, we've got that on Cathcart Circle. So I thought, what is it? It was completely out of context with the rest of the trailer, unless I've missed something. I just wondered what you guys think. Nobody. I had lots of comments on the video last night, but nobody actually commented on that bit, so I don't really know. Very strange. Right, we are braking, but we're in the blue again on the accelerometer. Macam Cabby, how are you? Nice to see you. Grandautismo, no idea. Just get a point across the point. It's retro or something. I don't know. I get it. I get it's retro, but I mean, I think I think the rest of the trailer definitely shows it's retro with the type of locos and things, but I just don't know whether that last bit's meant to point to something specific. And then when we get our hands on it, we'll go, ah. I see, Jason. No, so it does mean something. It does mean something. We just don't know what it is yet. Could it be that at the end of the trailer, the screen goes all shaky and there's a countdown suggesting kind of speed, and then the APT comes blasting past? Don't know. I don't know. It won't be the APT. Maybe eventually we'll get the APT, but I don't know. Have Just Train's got one trick up their sleeve in all these dev updates that they've done? Just one trick up their sleeve that they've not told us about yet. There's the Gatwick Express. It's finally caught up with us. Everybody wanted to get off that Gatwick Express and get on board with us, I think. This depot's lacking, isn't it? Is this where the 700s are meant to be? In this depot? If we can get more 90 miles plus routes, then this game will be huge. I agree with you. I think this one's a good start. Maybe maybe the third-party developers like Just Trains and ATS and all those guys. Maybe because they're working on their own route and nothing else. Maybe then we can have longer routes. Because you remember, Dovetail have always said, people have always asked, why can we not have longer routes? Why have we got this little route? And they always say it's because of development time, and it takes a long time to model it. But if you've got one company that are working on one route and that's all they're doing, they've not got several things going on at once. Maybe they can. Maybe this one that Just Trains is doing is a perfect example of that. Not only that though, the Just Train stuff's quality. It'll be a long route and it'll be a quality route, because you don't want a long route and it's crap. You just wouldn't enjoy it. I think they're going to manage to do this one and have the longer route and have the same quality as Blackpool Branches, if not better, because don't forget, Blackpool Branches was really, really good. That's been out next Thursday, the 14th. And I always remember the 14th because it was my dad's birthday. That's why it came out on the 14th. They've had another year to get used to the editor and look at little tweaks. There might be things on Blackpool Branches that they're not happy with, but we can't notice them. From a developer standpoint, because they take a lot of pride in what they do. There might be some things on there and they thought, I wish we could have done that a little bit better. Well, maybe after another year of working with all the tools, that some of that stuff has been put into the new route, and we'll get the benefit. I'm expecting nothing but an excellent route out of this one. Kebepi, how are you? Just popping in. You got the blue badge there, Kebepi, as well. The blue membership badge. That looks good, the blue one. Do you know what? I wouldn't mind actually changing my channel logo to the blue one. Looks quite good, that. Interrogation. You just bought the PS5 VR2 headset. I've only got the first VR for PlayStation. It used to make me a bit nauseous. I didn't really get into it, but I think that was because the screen wasn't HD. It was a bit naff. Put a bit of power in, shall we? Yeah, 700 depot, I thought it was. Would have been nice to have 700s in this route, apart from spawning them in ourselves. I wonder why they never did that. Why have they not layered them in? Even as AI in the depot. Maybe, I know British Ace, he's campaigning to have one of the next remasters to be this, because this is his favourite route. And maybe if they did that, as part of that, they would look at... They usually add a lot more AI and things, don't they? They could add in the services with the 700 and put some of the AI in the depot, or make the depot even usable. There's a few options for the future, isn't there? Andrew says Jason's probably testing the secret loco. Get the speed down. We don't want to get towed off. Imagine doing a Gatwick Oxidome. There's plenty of traffic at this end of the route. Maybe it's something to do with the mastery challenges, says Dre Dreamer. Good afternoon, how you doing? That's what I thought, and as I said, it reminded me, I said it in the video, it reminded me of some kind of alien abduction or something, you know, the CCTV, the flickery picture, all that kind of thing. And, but then, you know, we had the UFO on Cathcart Circle, so it's not that. Could be anything. A no-brainer for you, Mac and Cabby, to buy the route. I think a lot of people will think that. Certainly from... I'm just going off all the comments, what you guys say, but all the comments in the videos as well. There's not much negativity around it, I will say. The other nice thing as well is that I've noticed that Just Trains are actually dipping into the comments in the videos as well, so they're obviously monitoring the comments on a lot of the videos. I mean, I've gone to town on it. I have gone to town, but I'm not just putting it on for the sake of YouTube. I'm actually really excited about this route. So I'm kind of hoping when I talk about it, you guys know I'm being genuine. You know what YouTube's like. It's like, oh, you know, I'm actually genuinely excited about this. Probably, if I think back, when Blackpool Branches was announced, I thought, oh, that's really good, but I might have had a tinge of disappointment that it wasn't the West Coast Main Line instead. At that time, Blackpool Branches is great, and I'll remember where the wipers are in a minute on here. Where's the wipers? Be somewhere obvious, and I don't know. Oh, there we are. I remember a tinge of, well, you know, Preston's in the game, which for me is really, really nice, but I really wanted the West Coast Main Line, but I'm quite happy with the Blackpool Branches, and Blackpool Branches ended up alright. Now this has come out as well. I think for me, personally, as a TSW player, I couldn't be happier, really. Laura says, sorry, not Laura, apologise. Wish there was a route from Euston to Glasgow. That would be a mega route, wouldn't it? I mean, one day that might be a possibility with several routes together, if they can work out, outside of route hopping, if they can work out how to join them together. But I think that's probably something they've had on their mind for a long, long time. But technically it might be difficult to do it. Plus, we've got the West Coast Main Line South, which is pretty much modern day. We've got the new one coming out over Shap, which is 80s. So joining them together, even you'd be going through different eras, which is also a bit strange. But I agree with you though, it'd be nice to do a really long run like that. Doing the 90 miles between Preston and Carlisle is a definite start in the right direction though, as the Mackem cabbie was saying. Right, we've got 18 miles to go. Yeah, Euro Truck Mackem, yeah, exactly. But I think the only thing about the Euro Truck maps is they're not exactly like for like, are they? Whereas in Train Sim, in Train Sim World, they tried to put in the scenery, apart from some of the buildings, the scenery, they tried to map it exactly as it is. I think it's more generated, isn't it, on Euro Truck? But I know what you mean. Thanks for coming in, Stuart. Enjoy Lanzarote. Yep, see you later, Jason. He's making a quick exit now. He knows what the CCTV bit means at the end of the video. I'll chat to you later, buddy. Afternoon, Richie. How are you? Grandatismo. Somebody told you West Coast Mainline overshot was a scam at $32.99. I wonder who that was. Revenger, when does the remake of Paddington to Reading release? I don't think it's been announced yet. The roadmap is on Tuesday. So maybe on Tuesday there'll be some more news on that. I don't know. But that's the place we'll hear about it. Farah, good afternoon. How you doing? You heard someone was praising ETS2. ETS2 is a very good game. You know me, I always enjoy it. It's one of those games where you just go and lose yourself. Especially after you told me, Farah, about the putting the radio on in the cab as well, which I didn't know about. So I get in ETS2 now, I put the radio on. Obviously I can't put the radio on if I was doing it on YouTube because it'd be copyright, but yeah, when I'm just playing it myself I put the radio on, and it's quite good. There's a lot of channels on there you can pick. That's good, Richie. Thanks for coming in. Gabepe, you prefer the shorter routes? Yeah, seldom have the time to drive long ones. Yeah, there is a bit of that, isn't there, as well? There is a little bit of that to consider. Yeah, that horn's definitely somewhere down the back. It's not at the front. The GW was postponed. Liam had to sort out the West Coast Mainline fixes. Could have got delayed a little bit because of that. Yeah, you're right. I'm sure on the roadmap there'll be an update. Yeah, some great traffic on here. That's what I like when you get to this end of the route. There's a lot to see. One of the people that says all routes are too expensive and it should have been modern day. But honestly, I think it's set in the 80s will provide more interesting gameplay. And part of it is, remember, people are talking about value for money. Don't forget, if you actually are getting value for money, if you've been in Train Sim World a long time, you've got Northern Transpennine, you've already got Blackpool branches, you're getting a lot. You're getting a lot extra out of the stuff that you already own, just by the fact that it is set back then. So, you know, people that saying it's not worth $32.99, it should have been modern, blah blah blah. What are they basing that on? You know, I get, you know, I can listen to any argument from anybody, which is backed up by a point of view that's based on some kind of data that makes sense. But if you just want to get your channel going to say, I don't agree with this, I don't, you know, this is crap, it's too expensive, you guys shouldn't be put through this, and blah blah. Oh, and while you're there, click the button and give me a like. I can't go for that stuff, you know. Apart from West Coast Mainline over Shap, right, where I'm really excited about it, and I, you know, I'm not telling you to buy that, by the way. I'm just telling you that I'm excited when I bring out all them videos. I'm just telling you what I think. I would never say to you, you must buy this because it's really good value for money, and you know. And thanks, Dovetail. Shake my hand right now. Doesn't work like that. I can just show you stuff with my own personal opinion of it, and tell you why I like it, or why I don't like it in some cases, and then you guys can make your own mind up, and you can see what I'm actually doing as well, you know, on the screen. So I don't know, but to say something's not worth it before it's even released is a bit naff. Anyway, that's my little rant. A Saturday rant, and why not? It's as good as any other day. There seems to be plenty of variety in the upcoming route. Yes, I would agree with that. Cheap man, how are you doing? I'm alright, thank you very much. Yeah, how's yourself? Geek Daddy says it works out at 33 pence a mile. Does it? That's not bad. How have you worked that out? You've just done a P times Q basically on that, I guess. But you know that cost comes down a little bit as well, doesn't it? With any other value you're getting for it, any other services with all the other trains as well that you're getting, gives you a bit more value. Passing Balham soon. Have we gone through Balham already, Steve? I'm catching up with the comments. I'm a little bit behind. Andrew says if Rivet made the route, wouldn't pay anywhere near the $32.99. JT have already proven themselves. I think you're right. The well, not about Rivet, although you know Rivet don't exactly cover themselves in glory, do they? When they release something, there's always something that has to go back for afterwards. I kind of would agree with that, but I agree with Just Trains that they've set their own standard. Not only have they set their own standard with Blackpool branches, I think they've set the standard for future DLCs for everybody. It's a very high bar, in my opinion, Blackpool branches, for everybody else to try to match. Now, I'm expecting good things as well from Alan Thompson Sim, because all those guys are big railway people. I mean, they've been working in TS Classic for a long time. You know, I expect that the quality of what they're doing is also going to be similar to Just Trains. We'll see. We haven't got anything to base that on really yet, but I can see that route being a very good one as well. Albeit, you know, different era, different location, different length of route. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Andrew. A lot of things are worth the price more than others we've had in the past. I would agree with that. Oakville, Arosa, to name two that are on my list. Let me slow down. We took 12 miles until we're in. Yeah, it's worth it for you, Grand Autismo, because you've got nearly all the BR Blue stuff, yeah. Kabepi, you like this route? 1 hour and shorter. Yep. When you drive the 66, Laura, you always have wheel slip. The key thing is to obviously make sure the brakes are completely off. The dial in the middle there, you need to get that up to number 5, so keep your finger on the release button, and then as you go, just it's sometimes, depending on what you've got behind the 66, it can take a while for the brakes to come completely off on the wagons. So you know the 66 itself, because that could have its brakes released, but the wagons behind might have a little bit of brake on, so just put it into notch 1 or 2 and just keep the amps. Look at the amps on the right hand side, the dial on the far right with the green and red. Make sure you stay in the green as you accelerate. If the needle shoots up, then you know you're applying too much power then. That should help with the wheel slip. And I think there is a sanding button. Is there a sanding button somewhere? What's that one? That's the emergency brake. I could have sworn there was a sanding button somewhere. Yeah, where is the sand, Autismo? Maybe I'm looking at it and I can't see it. Is it down? Is it somewhere on here? Honestly, cannot remember. Fresh air. We got fresh air there, look. Probably right next to me. Hazard button. Oh, there it is. It says it there in big letters. Sand. Yeah, so you can apply the sand, which will give your wheels a little bit of additional grip. Nick says, spent quite a few quid on DLC over the last month. Do not feel in the least bit hard done by. Getting a lot of pleasure out of my investment. That's it. Some hobbies are more expensive than others, aren't they? But it depends on your enjoyment, and everybody's level of measure of enjoyment out of something is different, isn't it? And so you have to be careful when you're listening to some people who completely write something off and put you off it when you've not tried it yourself. You know, you might think differently. Thanks for that, Richie. I am a bit over positive on about this next one. I think it's because I know it so well, and I'm glad that it's just trains. I've got to be honest. I'm glad it's just trains that are making it. That's the other thing, because I can kind of, guarantee to myself that it's gonna be very good quality. Let's get the wipers off. I think the rain has stopped. Yeah, and can you justify paying full price? Exactly, Faria. And I always say this to you guys, and you lot that have been around a long time know, unless you're desperate for it on day one, then you've got no need to buy it day one. Dovetail understand that a lot of people wait for the sales, and that's fine, and they'll price that into it when they release something at a certain price. It's just the business. There's people in charge of the business model who do just that. They know kind of how many sales they're going to get at full price versus how many they'll get in a sale. It's data that they've all got. If you don't want the latest and greatest on day one, then there's no need to, really, and that's perfectly acceptable. you can still be a big as fan of TSW as everybody else without buying it day one. So, you know, I kind of agree with you there as well. Mocky, good afternoon. How are you? West Coast Mainline, Preston to Carlisle will be the best route ever in TSW, in your opinion, and in my opinion, I think. Gran Turismo Rivet can do well. Enjoy the 170. The scenery issues on Fife and the 385. Sound and physics issues. Don't paint them in a good light. And I think the Class 150 on the West Cornwall is one of the biggest rivet issues. And there were some changes made to that 150, wasn't there, after the complaints that came in, but it's still not... I quite like driving it, but it's not like the TS Classic version at all. There's a gulf of difference between that AP version in TS Classic and the one we've got on the West Cornwall. .5 miles to go to Clapham. Yeah, do you like this livery? Yeah, remind me at the end. I'll show you in the Creators Club, and then you can go and get it. Because of course the liveries in Creators Club are free as long as you've got the 66. Then you can get it. But do look it up as well. 66004. That's the real number of it as well. And it will tell you the story about it running on chip fat or whatever it is. Gebeppi's hype for Shat as well. We're going to have some fun on this channel with that. If I can get it the day before it goes on public release, and you guys have got time to come in, we're definitely going to cover it. And you know, the hype will be real that day, honest to God. They might have to, like, you know, you might have to strap me to the chair or something. I'm going to make myself some, like, fake Traveller's Fur sandwiches. I'm going to leave the bread out for 5 days before the stream so that the edges curl up. I'm going to get a cup of tea that's like stewed. And we're going to really get into it. We're going to go sit in that Buffy car at the back of the 87. It's going to take us, so 90 miles, it's going to take us, just based on TS Classic, just over an hour to go between Preston and Carlisle. So I mean, we could do a couple of runs in one stream, take a break, do another one, but we'll cover, you know, over a couple of streams we'll cover it. And I'm not watching the speed at all. Let's release the brakes. Yeah, I'm playing on the PC today and using the Xbox controller, correct. Yeah. Was it 4 or 5 patches they did for the 150 prior to PS5 launch? Did it bang on? Now you don't drive it. They did a couple of patches for it. But it's still not right. It doesn't accelerate the same to me as it should. British Rail cheese sandwiches. Someone commented last night about a ham sandwich from Traveller's Fair, actually, which is what reminded me. I remember the ham, but I said, what about tuna and cucumber? They were pretty grim. And he said, tuna wasn't invented then. Which made me laugh. Tuna wasn't invented in the Traveller's Fair days. Wish the mirrors on the 66 actually worked. Yeah, they're a bit they're just greyed out, aren't they? Right, we got a single red here. After this yellow. I meant to say we've got a single yellow, then a red, and got completely back to front. That's nice, that passing under there. So those of you that are asking that have not got this route, then yes, well, you can see for yourself, it's quite nice. Mocky, it's the longest UK route. It'd be the longest UK route, but not the longest in the game. As Geek Daddy says, Castle Würzburg is longer. Cucumber is always grim. Gives you heartburn. Which is really weird, isn't it? Because cucumber's basically water. That train was heading to West Croydon and onwards. Yeah. Pilgrim, good afternoon. How you doing? For the Morecambe branch, is it back and forth between Lancaster and Morecambe, like St Earth to St Ives, or does the train go off somewhere else after Morecambe instead of terminus? Grand Autismo says Morecambe branch services go up to Cornforth and on to Leeds. I think so. In real life, there's some services from Preston to Morecambe via Lancaster, but the majority of them. Oh no! 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 It's because I'm reading the chat. No! 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 Don't do it! Oh my god. I cannot believe it. I cannot believe it. I'm not going to blame you for that, Pilgrim, but it's a normal stream. What do you know? We were so near the end. Oh my god. Oh dear. I need to get the monitors close together so I can see it. This gets me every single time. Do you know what? We were doing so well. I'm going to answer the question though. There's some services go Preston to Morecambe, but I think the majority of services you got to in that bay platform that we saw in the trailer at Lancaster, they'll go from there to Morecambe. So they'll go between Lancaster and Morecambe, and then there'll be some from Morecambe that come back out, as Grand Autismo says, and go to Cornforth, and then they'll go off into the portal and go further. So either up to Barrow, up the Cumbrian coast, or on to Leeds that way. So that was nearly the full service in the 66. Oh my god. Right, let me show you the Creators Club. I might be able to get that one right. I've been too excited again, you see. on this stream. There's Creators Club. Online sharing hub, continue, and if I go down here, it's in here somewhere. There it is. So this is what you need to look for. So get the details down, and you can go and pick that up. It's got 1,170 subscribers, and that's been there since the last update to it was February in 2022, and I think I've had it from pretty much near the beginning. So if you do want that that livery, then you can go and pick it up there, and it's by who's it by? What does it say? I can't see for looking. What's the person's name? Can I just not see that? It doesn't say, does it? It used to give the name of whoever it was that did it, but I can't see that. You see the screenshots. It used to be up here, the name, I think, of whoever uploaded it, but it's not showing. But there it is. So you can go and pick that up. That's free if you want it. And also, if we go back, don't forget this one. This one. If you want the channel liveried 142 that Jason did, yeah, see Jason's name's gone as well. This is the pacer for Blackpool Branches with all the channel colours on it and the logo on the side. So you can get that one. Jason's done that one. We're talking about the 150. Where's the 150? Here's the 150. So there is also this channel liveried 150 that Jason's done. We ran that the other week when we were on the West Cornwall. So you can pick that up if you want it. It's got TSW4 decals. I'm going to have a word with him about that. But there you go. So you can go and pick those up. Tea and biscuits, yes. And that's what you hate about TSW. This is a true story. I only spad or do that when I'm streaming. And I know it looks really bad. And it's because genuinely I'm not concentrating the same. So that's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. So don't worry, Pilgrim, it's not your fault. I'm just winding you up. But we're going to end it there for today, slightly prematurely. Thanks everybody for coming in, though. I appreciate it. Thanks for the chat on a Saturday afternoon. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day and weekend. And we'll probably be back Monday night, live as usual. As I said during the stream, I'm hoping it's going to be MBTA commuter, early access. Depends whether Dovetail send it over to me on Monday and I get it installed in time, because I am working on Monday. If we don't get it on Monday night, we'll play something else, but there will be a stream, so look out for that appearing on the schedule. Until then, thanks again. Catch you all later. Cheers, guys. Bye for now.